the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome here, race fans, to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, we visit the Monster Mile here in Dover, Delaware. The National Speed Association back in action here on the Sunday night after last week's exciting 94 laps from the Talladega Superspeedway, where it came down to 2 drivers side by side at the line, and Charlie Widener, who's out here on track tonight, took home the victory. Exciting race we had last week. If you missed that here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, definitely go back and check out the National Speed Association, because 94 laps, Talladega Superspeedway, bumper-to-bumper action. Boy, what a race it came down to there. And tonight, though, going to be a little bit different. The concrete Monster Mile here from Dover. I heard a lot of guys out there talking in practice that the track here tonight is pretty tight. They can't get the truck to come off the corner the way they want it. These guys got about 6 minutes here to tune in those truck setups, and then we're going to turn them loose here for qualifying for the National Speed Association. While we have a little bit of time here, though, let's see if we can work over our voice attack point standings here. Chris Garrett is leading the way here in points over Chris Stump, though, by 8 points, but that gap is going to be annihilated tonight because Chris Garrett and his brother of JJ, the Fluffy Garrett, neither of those 2 drivers going to be in action here tonight, as they are down south at the Nashville Speedway with their modified, working on the modified down there, so they're not in attendance tonight. If they're out there tuning in tonight, boys, we hope that you guys had a good showing down there from the Speedway, and, well, hopefully we'll catch you next week. Charlie Widener, though, sits 3rd in our points here for the National Speed Association, 14 points back after his 2nd win last week from Talladega. Jamey Kristensen, after having 1 win on the year, sits there 4th place, 1 point behind Charlie Widener, 15 points out of the points lead, and that's probably where we're going to draw the line. Those 4 drivers coming into only 4 races left in the year are probably have your best 4 chances to win the championship. Dustin Phillips sitting 32 points back. He's sitting right there on that gray line. Could possibly have enough time to get there. Might end up a little short. We're going to have to pay attention to see how Dustin Phillips shows out here tonight. JJ Garrett is sitting 6th, but we talked about how he won't be here, so he's going to lose 74. He's going to lose that 6th spot, 74 points out. Trey Hoover sits in the 7th spot there in points. Stephen Page is 8th. Doug Lemons is 9th. DeMarco Starks rounds out the top 10. Rest of your drivers 11 through 20 on the other side. Talking about how there's only 4 races left in the season. This is Dover. That means there's only 3 left after that. We're going to head to Kansas next week, Charlotte, and then we're going to throw the wild card to end the season for the championship here. We're going to head to Lucas Oil Speedway. That's going to be an interesting one to see, as we're going to, normally used to seeing a mile and a half finish out the year, and not for these guys. They're going to head it to a little short track. But right there is your top 20 in your voice attack point standings for the National Speed Association. Just about 4 minutes left here in qualifying. Let's see if we can take a quick look at our running order right there. Jamey Kristensen has the top spot right now over Chris Stump here in practice. Dustin Phillips has a quick truck here in the 33 tonight. Sits 3rd on the grid right now. Trey Hoover is 4th. Pascal Brasuli right there in your 5th spot. Charlie Widener 6th. Stephen Page is 7th. DeMarco Starks 8th. How about Dustin Ping there in the 77 is 9th, and David Gervais, who just literally joins the lobby and goes 10th quickest on the board. So with just over 3 minutes here before we get to the qualifying here for the National Speed Association, we're going to throw it over to the National Anthem real quick before we turn qualifying loose here tonight. We'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network after your National Anthems.
True patriot love. Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, welcome back, race fans, here to Dover International Raceway. Qualifying, as you see on the screen, has just begun. No drivers have taken to the track just yet to take on the Monster Mile here for the National Speed Association. While we have a couple seconds here, while nobody's gone out on track, tonight's race, don't forget, has been brought to you by Voice Attack. Voice Attack, the main sponsor here for the National Speed Association. They do some great work with these drivers. Have a couple Voice Attack races throughout the year to get these guys a couple free copies of Voice Attack, and even if you win the championship here with these guys, it'll give you a free copy to Voice Attack. It looks like we do have one driver coming out here on track. It looks like that's going to be the 27 here of DeMarco Starks. So as he's coming out here on track for his get-up-to-go lap, let's follow him around the Dover International Raceway. There you see DeMarco coming off turn number 4, going to take the green flag to put down his first time lap. 2 laps for these gentlemen around the concrete mile. See that little hump coming off turn 2. A lot of the drivers I saw in practice having a little bit of transition problems, and you have that another little hump there going down into turn 3. All 4 corners have the same exact little hump. You're going to see him come off 4, and there it is again, that little hump. Let's see where DeMarco Stark's going to land on the board. He goes P1 right now. Qualifying times there on the left-hand side of the screen. Pascal Versuli going to go to the top of the boards here with the 182 machine. He brought the hot setup here for the qualifying run. See him right there down on the bottom with the left-hand tires as he comes through 3 and 4. Now a little bit of a slide off turn 4. Let's see if it slowed him down just a little bit. Pascal not able to go any faster on his second lap. Dustin Ping out here. This is his first time lap out here for the 77 of Dustin Ping and that Chevrolet number 77. Dustin Ping making a good start from Daytona last week. Unfortunately, didn't have the result, or Talladega not having the result that he wanted. Let's see where he goes on the board. Dustin Ping going to go to the top of the board, and then he's going to be quickly removed from the top as Trey Hoover goes to the top of the board with a 22.330. Trey Hoover to the top of the board. The question is, where's the man of steel? David Gervais going to end up here in the 39. He usually brings a hot rod to the track, and let's see where he comes in across across the stripe. David Gervais going to go to the 7th position on lap number 1. Stephen Page just finishing up his handful of laps. He goes P4 right now. Chris Stump was just out there. He put down a lap, which was second quickest. He went with a 22.428. Jamey Kristensen in the number 9 here, sponsored by Voice Attack, the number 9 Toyota, just rolling out onto the track. Jamey, if you remember a couple weeks ago, won from the Bristol Motor Speedways. He was able to outlast everybody down there in Bristol. It's a little bit bigger track here. Still concrete corners, concrete straightaways, but it does not drive the same. Carry a lot more speed through the corners here. So let's see where Jamey's going to slot in here. Jamey crosses the line. He goes P5 with a 22.530 on his first time lap. While we were watching Jamey, Dustin Phillips put in a time there in the 33. He went 6th quickest on the board with a 22.665. Let's see if Jamey's going to be able to pick it up on his second lap. Jean-Francois Pilot crosses the line also. Jamey not able to pick up any time. Jean-Francois, though, he picks it up. He goes 7th on the board. Looks like we have one driver who has yet to qualify, and I do not believe he's going to get a qualifying attempt in, because Jean-Francois right here in the 213 going to be the last truck to take a qualifying attempt here for Dover. So 12 guys register for the race. Right now, Charlie Widener, though, not going to take a timed lap. He's going to start 12th on the field. And there you see it, the clock is going to expire here for qualifying. Coming up next, as boom, it's going to reset. Look at iRacing cloud cover roll in here for the race. Just looked over here on the track temp, and boy, did it just make a dive. See if we can pull up our track facts here from Dover International Speedway as these guys grid up. It's a little over a mile. It's 1.02 miles here. We got 200 laps. That's going to be 204 miles is the distance. Look at the track temp down to 76. That's the coolest it's been all day here from Dover. Let's see if that's going to play a factor here tonight. Let's see if we can take you through your Voice Attack starting lineup here for the National Speed Association. Trey Hoover going to start to the inside here as he took home the pole here from Dover. Chris Stump going to start there second in the 98 machine. Starting third going to be the 77 of Dustin Ping. The number 1 of Stephen Page is going to roll off in your 4th spot. 5th going to go to the number 9 of Jamey Kristensen. Dustin Phillips in the 33 got himself a good starting spot there in 6th. 7th going to go to Jean-Francois Pilot there in the 213. 8th going to go to the 182 of Pascal Brassoule. 9th going to go to the 27 here of DeMarco Starks and the 39 of David Gervais. 11th going to go to Jean-Francois Lavoie in the 397 machine. Charlie Widener in the 95. Going to start shotgun on the field. Last week's winner going to try and start from the rear here tonight. That'll round out your 12-car field here at Dover International today. And Trey Hoover going to lead us to green in that number 90. Going to be interesting to see who can outlast Miles the Monster here today. Green flag going to come out this time by, and we're going to line it up and go racing. There's the pace car down and away. The pace car down. There goes Trey Hoover to the early jump. Trey Hoover to the early start, and it looks like everybody else is going to try and get single file out here from the early going. Everybody goes single file down the back. So As they come to complete lap number 1, it's going to be Trey Hoover to the line first. So Trey Hoover going to lead the first laps here from Dover. Got to go all the way back here to the back before there was a little bit of a battle. Jean-Francois Lavoie back here in the 397 was side-by-side with David Gervais for a moment, and then they were able to settle it out really quick. Pascal Bersouli trying to get to the inside here of Jean-Francois Pilet as they work through 3 and 4. Coming off turn 4, though, Jean-Francois in the 213 going to hold down that position still. As we come off turn number 2 and look for a second of Dustin Ping having a little bit of connection issues as he's going to work to the inside here on the 98 of Chris Stump in the Cialis machine to now give Dustin Ping that second position. Jamey Kristensen looks like he's having a hard time holding on. It looks like that truck may be a little tight here when the sun came out. Right now, Jamey sitting there in that 4th spot. And there's the move for the lead. Trey Hoover going to go high here. The 77 to Dustin Ping off turn number 4. Going to take the lead for the first time. Dustin Ping going to lead lap number 4 as they came across the stripe. Jamey Kristensen looking a little racy all of a sudden. Maybe he found a little bit of a lift spot out there, and it's allowing that number 9 to rotate through the corner. Laps are going to go quick here from Dover as that was a 22.6 second lap last time for Dustin Ping, and that was actually the best lap of the race. Now that time going to slow down to a 22.7. So laps are right around the 22 to 23 seconds here in the early going. I see a 4-car breakaway a little bit at the front of this one. Everybody trying to mind their P's and Q's, staying out of the wall early. It looks like the 39 of David Gervais has actually found the outside wall at some point. He's got a little bit of damage on the Superman machine back here. We didn't see that happen, but we do notice a little bit of damage to that truck. Looking back here on Francois Lavoie, looks like in the 397 here, maybe he's got the rear end damage. Maybe that's where David Gervais' damage came from. Charlie Widener, though, is now looking to the inside here on David Gervais down the front stretch. He's going to take away the 10th position down into turn number 1. Here comes Trey Hoover. He's trying to find a way back around the 77 here of Dustin Ping. As these guys battle towards the front, that allowed the number 1 of Stephen Page to close back up in on this battle. And here comes Dustin Phillips in that 33 Hawkeye Trucking Toyota as he's going to look to the inside here on Stephen Page. So Dustin Phillips going to take the spot. Now can Jean-Francois here in the 213 follow him around. Looks like Page is going to find his way back to the bottom. That will stop the bleeding there. Only going to lose 1 position to Dustin Phillips. As those gentlemen battle back there, now it's a 3-truck breakaway at the front after 9 laps. So it's Dustin Ping, Trey Hoover, Chris Stump, your top 3. Jamey Kristensen is 4th with Dustin Phillips in 5th and rounding out the top 5. Then you got a slew of trucks behind him. Stephen Page there in 6th. Jean-Francois Pilet right there in 7th. And DeMarco Starks in 8th. Pascal Bersouli is 9th. And Charlie Widener rounds out your top 10 drivers as they run after 10 laps here from Dover. Looks like DeMarco Starks looked for a moment there in turn 3 to try and get around Jean-Francois. He was not able to pass the 213 machine as he closed the door off turn number 4. Goes side by side coming out of the corners. It could spell disaster for a lot of these guys. As there you see Jean-Francois going to take the little bit of a lower line entry into 3 that time to try and block Starks from getting the position. So right now, this is the battle on track between Jean-Francois Pilet and the number 27 of DeMarco Stark as they battle for 7th and 8th. See some more of that cloud cover here from Dover. Let's check back out front. Dustin Ping still out front with Trey Hoover in 2nd and Stump right there knocking on the back door. Those are your top 3. Track temp since the start of this one has started to rise a little bit. Right now, it's at 86 degrees. Well, we know it's the early going here for the National Speed Association, but so far some good racing by these guys, especially the top three here from Ping, Hoover, and Stump. But not only some good racing, we'd like to thank all of our fans for tuning in here on the Turn 3 Racing Network or over on the iRacing.com page. Welcome here to watch the National Speed Association from Dover International. So far, some good, clean racing up front. They went single file from the get-go pretty much, and they've kind of stayed right like this the entirety. Jamey Kristensen just kind of been hanging out back here, a couple car lengths off the back bumper of Chris Stump the whole entire race so far going. Dustin Phillips was up at the front, and then all of a sudden, a big wiggle out of the 33 kind of checked up the rest of the field here. So Dustin Phillips running right there. You see the gap from him to the leaders. DeMarco Starks in the 27 truck did end up getting around John Francois Pilet back there a little while ago, so he took over the 7th position from him, and we missed it, but Charlie Widener also got around the 182 of Pascal Brasuli right there. Pascal is your final truck inside your top 10. Looks like maybe a little bit of blinking issues with the 77 there of Ping as he's starting to get passed up by your leaders here. Maybe they asked him if he could retire that truck. I'm not sure, as he's really all over our timing and scoring. We're trying to get back to that as soon as we can, but now it's still a 3-car tandem here at the front of this one with Trey Hoover out front. Jamey Kristensen is your last truck there. Chris Stump kind of being sandwiched in the middle of those drivers. So still out there on track is Dustin Ping, as he's right behind Charlie Widener now. So that puts Dustin Ping from the lead all the way back to 8th. I don't see any damage on that truck, and with the speed that Dustin had, if he can get the blinking issue sorted out on that number 77 machine, he should be able to work his way back through the field here. Out front, though, now your three trucks here to the front, Stump, Hoover, and Kristensen, starting to make a little headway now. They got about a 2-second lead just about over Dustin Phillips, DeMarco Starks, and Stephen Page, as it looks like Starks going to try and pass the number 1 here of Stephen Page. It looks like he'll take the position away, so now that'll move DeMarco Starks to 5th. Starks has been moving up through the field here ever so slowly here from Dover, trying to make his way to the front. Back up front, it looked like a little bit of a wiggle there out of Trey Hoover is what cost him the lead, because now your new leader out front going to be Chris Stump in the Cialis 98 machine. Hoover running 2nd. Jamey Kristensen is there in 3rd. DeMarco Starks, you see him at the back of the camera angle here. He was trying for a moment to get around the 33 of Dustin Phillips. Maybe a little bit of a nudge there down into turn 1. Phillips going to go high. Starks going to go to the bottom here in 2. Can DeMarco Starks, though, take the 27 truck and put it into the 4th position? He does. DeMarco Starks going to take over the 4th spot here. Stephen Page going to take 5th as it looks. He's going to squeeze his way between Phillips and the inside there, so put Stephen Page back into 5th. Dustin Phillips back to 6th. So with Chris Stump as your leader, Trey Hoover settling in there in the 2nd spot. Jamey Kristensen now back 1.5 seconds back from your leader, so he's starting to drop off. Wonder on this long run if he started to eat up the tires here. So that's something Dover can really do. If you really are, trying to get back to the throttle and push the truck through the center of the corner, you're going to start to eat up the tires just a little bit, especially that right front. That right front here at Dover could go instantly, and right now it looks like Jamey not able to get back down to the bottom. This time in 3 and 4, he's going to get pretty close down there to the bottom, but I noticed last time through 1 and 2, he was up the track substantially, not in the groove where he wanted to be down on the bottom. Let's take it back here. Look at Stephen Page. He's way up the groove in turn 1. He's hanging on to that 5th position. Dustin Phillips starting to lose a lot of ground now, because now he's back here battling to stay in the 6th position. in front of the 213 of Jean-Francois Pilot. Dustin Ping back in action. He's right there running 8th now. He did get around Charlie Widener. Now he's trying to run down this group right in front of him. Right now, Dustin Phillips still able to hold off the charge there from the 213 of Francois. See him taking 2 different lines coming into the corner. An arcing entry there by the 33 of Dustin Phillips to try and rotate the center of that corner. But Jean-Francois, though, right down on the bottom, trying to hug the bottom way, the shorter distance around the track here to see if he can find some little bit of grip down there. We know the inside lane is always going to be the really quick way around Dover International, but right now, he's just searching for anything. These are your 3 closest drivers on the track. We're going to stick here with Dustin Ping, Jean-Francois, and Dustin Phillips as they are the closest 3 trucks battling it out. Now that Dustin Ping has caught this group, is he going to be able to get around? He's had a little bit of a blink issue there. Working lap number 30 here from Dover for the National Speed Association. So far, green flag. It's exactly what we saw last week from Talladega. Can we see it again here at Dover? And there it is. Dustin Ping going to jump to the inside here. Ping going to see the fast way around. You see how he made that look real easy there for a moment. It looks like Jean-Francois was going to try and cross him over off turn number 4, but he elected to stay behind Dustin Ping. Ping going to send her down off into turn 1 and 2. So now that Dustin Ping got around the 213 there of Jean-Francois, now he's going to set his eyes on that man right there, the 33 of Dustin Phillips and that Hawkeye Toyota, as Ping is right there. He showed the nose going down the front stretch just to let Phillips know that he is right there. He is going to be bringing a head of steam to the back bumper of that 33 soon. '77 of Ping still having the blinking issues, and I'm sure that's playing a little havoc on the front end there of the 213 of Jean-Francois. You see Francois hit the apron there just a little bit, got loose there in the 213, and that's going to allow these 2 drivers to try to drive away just a little bit from him. There's a battle between these 2 drivers on track, though. It looks like Stephen Page. Wanted to call him Steve Park there in the number 1, but that is Stephen Page in the number 1, as he closed in real quick on the 27 of Starks, because Starks had a big wiggle coming off the corner, and that allowed Stephen Page to get a good run coming down the straightaway at him. And Stephen Page able to take that position away. So let's look out front. It's been a while since we tuned into our leaders. There's Chris Stump in the Cialis 98 as he started to open up now a 1.3, 1.4 second gap over Trey Hoover in the second spot in the number 90. Jamey Kristensen still hanging there at the 1.8, 1.9 second. That's back from Trey Hoover. It's actually a 3.2 second gap to your leader of Chris Stump, and then it's back here to these 2 guys who've been battling, as you see a big wiggle out of Stephen Page. Page really running up the top side there in 1 and 2. Runs the top of 1 and diamonds it off, and then takes the inside. Coming off turn 2, let's see what he does in turns 3 and 4 here. Looks like a pretty consistent line there through turns 3 and 4. Maybe just missed the mark down in 1 and 2. It's a good battle here between these 2 drivers. Just about 10 laps ago, it was it was Stephen Page to start with. Then Starks passed him back, and now Page passed Starks back. So now it's still Page in 4th, Starks in your 5th position. Let's see if we can grab an onboard camera here with Chris Stump and take a ride around Dover with him. handful of laps around Dover with Chris Stump as your leader. Oh, he almost makes contact coming off turn number 4 with Pascal Brusuli, who's running back here. Just going one lap down as he battled with Pascal there. That allowed Trey Hoover to catch up in the number 90 machine. So now with Hoover being able to catch back up from about a second and a half back all the way up to just being 3/10 off the back bumper, now just about a half second back. Does he have anything left? The big slide out of Jamey back there as he came off turn number 2. Almost had the voice attack number 9 pointed completely in the wrong direction. See another wiggle off turn number 4. It doesn't want to go down there. You see all the marbles coming off the tires of the truck. Oh, caution on track. John Francois in the 397 actually going around. Didn't see that happen on our screen. We're going to have to go back here on a replay. Let's see what happened. He was battling with David Gervais back there in the 10th position. See what happened between these two. Oh, it looks like David Gervais had a little more momentum coming through the center of the corner. And a caution flag going to wave here as you see Pascal going around in the 397. Let's back it up just a little bit here and see if we can grab an onboard camera here with David Gervais. Looked like David was just carrying a little more momentum there than John Francois around. He went off the front bumper. Looks like Chris Stump going to lead us all down pit road here. First pit stop of the day coming here on lap 44. You see all your leaders going to stop in their pits. Trey Hoover had the quick time, so he has pit stall number 1. Left side tires going on for a lot of these drivers. Let's see who's going to win it off pit road. It looks like Trey Hoover going to easily win it off. Then it's going to be Jamey Kristensen, then Chris Stump. Then it was between two drivers. Was it going to be Stephen Page or was it DeMarco Starks? We're going to have to find out here and see if timing and scoring, how timing and scoring is going to score these drivers after their first 4-tire pit stop out there. Well, while we are under this caution, once again, tonight's race brought to you by Voice Attack, the #1 voice command application on your PC. Head on over to Voice Attack for all your command needs. So as we're letting it all sort through, Trey Hoover is going to come out with our lead here. Jamey Kristensen is second. Stephen Page is third. DeMarco Starks is fourth. Dustin Ping back up to fifth in the 77. Dustin Phillips is sixth. Charlie Widener is seventh. David Gervais is eighth. Chris Stump got a speeding penalty on exit, so he'll have to drop to the tail end of the line. So that'll move John Francois in the 213 to ninth, and Pascal Brusuli should be your top 10 rounding out. Well, while we're here under the caution, we're going to step away here from the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll be back with more on National Speed Association Racing. back here at Dover International as the lights on the iRacing pace car are off, which means we will go back green flag racing here on lap 48. This caution flag here from Dover is already more caution flags than we had all last week at the Super Speedway from Talladega. No cautions coming out for 94 laps as these gentlemen battled it out. From the green flag to the checkered flag last week from that 2.6 mile track. This week, the 1 mile track here from Dover, grabbing one caution here in the first 50 laps of this one. Through turns 3 and 4, though, this time we should be able to go back green flag racing. As Trey Hoover goes back to the gas pretty early, leaving Jamey Kristensen and Stephen Page back here to battle it out for the second spot. Right now, Kristensen has it. Page wants it. Jamey's going to get down to turn 1, though, first. Then it's going to be a battle back here between Dustin Ping and the 27 of DeMarco Starks. Starks had a fast truck there in the early going. Actually, on the longer run, it looked like Starks was actually starting to make his way towards the front. We know Ping has a fast 77 truck. The question is, can he get back to the front? Oh, looks like DeMarco Starks going to make a big wiggle, big mistake down into the corner, going to open up the inside lane. So 3-truck battle here. Ping going to get the spot away from Starks, and now it looks like the 33 of Dustin Phillips going to take the spot. Starks into the outside wall right in front of Charlie Widener. Back here in the scrum of things is Chris Stump. He's also back here trying to bring the Cialis machine back to the front. Chris Stump now found in the 8th spot, trying to work his way back up. But let's go up front because Jamey Kristensen took the lead here on the restart. So he leads Trey Hoover, as Hoover is in your 2nd spot, then Stephen Page, and then followed by Dustin Ping. And, well, look how close these 3 drivers are coming off turn number 4. Dustin Phillips is literally pushing the number 77 of Dustin Ping. So it's a Dustin and Dustin train back here for the 4th and 5th position. Dustin Phillips a little bit loose off turn number 2. It looks like the truck pushed, and he jerked to the left, and then it kind of got a little loose. Stephen Page going to miss his spot going down into 3. That's going to open up the door. Dustin Ping going to fill the position. Ooh, it looks like Chris Stump possibly into the outside wall back here in the Cialis truck. It was either Chris Stump or John Francois in the 213 getting into the outside wall coming off turn number 4. Gotta go back up front here, though, because it's still Stephen Page and Dustin Phillips battling for the 4th spot. The sun reappears here from Dover all over the track. Look how close those guys get coming off turn 2. Look how far out ahead of things that Jamey Kristensen has opened up. He's opened up about a 1.5-second gap back to this battle, as it was real quick going into turn 1. I saw it, kind of exchange hands. Dustin Ping going to go to the inside of Trey Hoover and make quick work of that number 90. Hoover just wanted to get back to the inside lane, and that's exactly what he did, as he sits now 3rd. So Trey Hoover going from the lead here on this restart all the way back to 3rd. Maybe made the wrong adjustment on the number 70 machine. And how about Charlie Widener? He's trying to bring the outside lane to the party. I didn't think we were going to see an outside lane really work here from Dover today, but Charlie Widener taking the 95 Mountaineers machine all the way to the top of the track, trying to find something. Charlie's won on a whole bunch of different tracks, 1.5 miles from the Texas Motor Speedway, and then he also won at the big Super Speedway over at Talladega, now trying to notch a short track, possibly to his credit. They say short tracks are 1 mile and under, this one just being 1.07 tenths of a mile. We're just going to give it, the short track name because It is one hard track to navigate. These guys so far today have been doing one heck of a job. Widener back to the top again. And now Chris Stump's going to close on the back bumper of that machine. Like something gone wrong for the 33 there at Dustin Phillips. You can see he's had the back end of that number 33 Hawkeye truck and machine into the outside wall, possibly played with disaster that time off turn 4, as now he runs in the 7th spot. The battle back here between DeMarco Starks, the 39 of David Gervais, and John Francois in the 213. These trucks battling it out back here for the 8th, 9th, and 10th position on the running order. Ooh, a big move that time by there for Charlie Widener. Not sure what happened. I saw it exchange hands that Chris Stump took over the 5th position from Charlie, and then I noticed he was real high on the track, and then he kind of just cut it right down in front of Dustin Phillips. Maybe the handling going away now since they've been out there for 16 laps on this set of tires. Maybe Charlie Widener not having the truck that he thought he had on the early going. Maybe he used it up a little bit. Maybe he has to kind of back her down and see what kind of long-run truck he can have. Dustin Phillips still holding off DeMarco Starks, but it looks like Starks going to get to the inside here in the 27 Silverado. Looks like he's going to see if he can make a move. Can he come off turn 4? It gets real tight off turn 4 when you come side by side. Those two drivers made it work, but it looked like Starks lost a little bit of ground coming off the corner. He's going to make the move in turn 1, though, once again. Let's see as they work off turn 2. Is he able to hold the momentum? Looks like, yeah, he's going to be able to go door to door down the straightaway into 3 once again. As they come off turn number 4, though, can he put the power down this time? No. Looks like Dustin Phillips is going to be able to keep the 33 wound up on the outside. Now it looks like DeMarco Starks going to take that position. Dustin Phillips going to have to give it up. He'll take the position as well. Put Starks in your 7th spot. Phillips in 8th, and Gervais there in your 9th running on track. Talking about the number 9, how about the man out front? Saw a little bit of a tail slap there from the man behind him off the turn 4 wall. 77 of Dustin Ping giving it a little slap on the outside. Running order, all of it. You can see where your favorite driver is running here from Dover on the left-hand side of the screen. Right now, we only have one driver, a couple laps down. John Francois in the 397 is right now 2 laps down, running in your 12th spot. Everybody else so far on the lead lap here from Dover after 65 laps completed. Jamey Kristensen going to come across the line here this time by. He's going to complete lap 66, so now 66 laps in the books here. So Jamey Kristensen, sponsored by The Voice Attack, the premier sponsor here for the National Speed Association, and he is putting on one heck of a show now right out front by 1 second over Dustin Ping. Trey Hoover is rebounded now to the back bumper of the 77 of Ping. Can Hoover do anything to get around Dustin Ping? Dustin Ping still having a little bit of the blinking connection issue, as Dustin Ping is going to go to the high side that time. So it looks like Trey Hoover going to take back over the 2nd position. And as they battle for 2nd, back here a little bit farther, got a 3-truck battle, and that's going to be between DeMarco Starks to the inside here on Charlie Widener. And then David Gervais back here just going, boys, figure out who's going to go where, because I want to come around. There you see that battle as they go down the backstretch under the bridge in turn 3. Charlie Widener going to continue to go high here as everybody works around him. Charlie Widener now slotted back into the 8th position in the running order. There you see Chris Stump in the Cialis machine has now worked his way to 4th as he's trying to run down the leaders. Chris Stump was all the way back to the 11th position on this restart and has slowly climbed his way through this field. Chris Stump now all the way back up to 4th, knocking on the top 3. Not quite halfway here in this one as we work lap 72. Fastest lap tonight has been laid down on lap number 2 by the man who runs right there in the 77 machine, Dustin Ping. We've had 5 lead changes here tonight. One of them being while we had the yellow flag pit stops. And then once we went back green flag racing, another one was completed by that number 9 there of Jamey Kristensen. Took over the lead from the man who runs in your second spot of Trey Hoover. Checking out Trey Hoover's stats through the last couple of weeks. He's had a second place, a 4th, a second, and a 14th. So minus that 14th place finish from Richmond, Trey Hoover's been inside your top 5 every race he showed up. And right now, Hoover, well, right now he runs in the 2nd position. The question is, though, can he keep a good streak alive? As Jamey Kristensen played with disaster that time off turn number 4, Kristensen almost put that voice attack number 9 into the outside wall. As he's playing with disaster, that's going to allow Trey Hoover now to close the gap from 1 second back to now just about a half second back, which is pretty good if you're Trey Hoover. You want to get there. There you see the gap. Let's check out the man who's running last on your lead lap. That's going to be Pascal Brusuli right there in the 182 machine. One of our friends from north of the border here tonight. Pascal running 15.6 seconds behind the leader right now, but he's still on the lead lap, and his truck still looks pretty clean. Just a little wrinkle on that right front fender. Pascal right now asking maybe possibly for a caution flag to be able to come down and get a little work done to that machine so he can bunch him back up, maybe make an adjustment, put a little bit of wedge in the truck, take a little tire pressure out of her. That's all it could take, and then he could be right back up here with this battle for the lead. Now it's only about a 3-car length gap until you find the front bumper there of the Advanced Auto Part number 90 of Trey Hoover. Oh, a big wiggle that time off turn number 4 for Trey Hoover. As you saw the truck get all sorts of out of shape, he knows he has to go because he knows that man is coming. The Cialis machine is catching up. Dustin Ping having some connection issues again, it looks, in the 77. I think this time he may have actually been into the outside wall. It looks like a little bit of damage on the right front of that machine. Trey Hoover, though, now really starting to knock on the back bumper of Jamey Kristensen, maybe about a truck length and a half back. Looks like we're going to have a battle for our lead between the two drivers out front of Kristensen and Hoover. And then Chris Stump just kind of sitting back about a second back behind them. You see him come off turn 4. It looks like a little bit of a wiggle for him. A lot of these drivers really started to chase the trucks here. They're on about, I believe it's about a 40-lap run. 35-lap run, actually. As they work off turn number 4 to complete lap 81, so that'll put us on lap 82. Jamey Kristensen's been out front so far for 33 laps. Chris Stump was out front early in the going for 26. Dustin Ping led 13. Trey Hoover's led 9, but Hoover's starting to come back to the front and wants to see if he can add to that lap total here tonight. You see, it looks like Jamey Kristensen has started to move up his line a little bit in entry of the corner, trying to get a little bit of a better rotation from center off. Once he goes down into turns 3 and 4, he goes right back to the bottom. Oh, Chris Stump with a little contact to the outside wall behind your leaders. As Chris Stump made a little contact off turn 4, going down into turn 1, Trey Hoover showed his nose to the inside on Jamey Kristensen. Not going to be able to make it work off turn number 2, though, as he slid a little bit, so you'll have to tuck in behind Jamey. Your battle here for your lead is now really started to heat up. Jamey going to take a slide off turn 4. Almost had the truck pointed right at the inside fence. He's going to let Trey Hoover go right on by. Hoover going to take the lead. Jamey Kristensen going to sit there for second and try and rebound to try and mount an attack now on Trey Hoover. What does he have left in the tires? The tires just heated up that much that he's starting to slip and slide coming off the corner. There's the gap. Your 3 leaders right there. Because Chris Stump trying to play pinball with the outside wall, trying to play Russian roulette with it. Didn't quite get it that time, but he's starting to catch up here to your leaders. There it is, Christian. You saw the flames come out, the tailpipes on the right-hand side. Stump was all sorts of out of shape as heavy cloud cover now comes into the Dover Raceway. Track temp still hanging right around the 84 degrees, so it's still hot out there on the track. There's also a battle back here between the 39 of David Gervais and the 27 of DeMarco Starks as they're nose to tail for your 5th and 6th spot. It looks like we have a caution out on track. Jean-Francois Lavoie has gone around in the 397 machine to bring out our 2nd caution flag here of the day. Let's see what happens to Jean-Francois in the 397. Silverado looks like it maybe had just a little bit of an issue coming off turn number 4 here. Oh, into the outside wall, and as he stayed in the throttle, nowhere to go as, he went up and over in that Canadian redneck 397. Jean-Francois Lavoie. Looks like he's been for one heck of a wild ride. Let's see, maybe we can wind our back just a little bit farther. Can we go on board with him coming off the corner? Well, there was the ride by Jean-Francois Lavoie there for your voice attack onboard camera. So he's got the 397 pointed in the right direction now, but he has shown 4 laps down now to that man who's out front of Trey Hoover. Hoover going to lead your whole entire pack down pit road. Looks like Dustin Phillips going to stay out here in your 33 and try and lead 1 lap here. Get his bonus point for leading the lap here at Dover on lap 89 as the rest of your leaders are going to come down pit road. So that's going to leave 10 drivers left on the lead lap here. Let's see who's going to win this battle off pit road. Is it going to be Trey Hoover? As he has that number 1 pit stall, you hear everybody revving the motors up. Hoover going to win the battle over Jamey Kristensen. Then it's going to be, it looks like Chris Stump, Stephen Page. Then it's going to be DeMarco Starks beating out David Gervais by a nose. Then Dustin Ping going to come out in 8th. Pascal Brasuli 9th. And Charlie Widener right now in 10th as Charlie's sitting there for an extensive time on pit road. Dustin Phillips still out there in the number 33 Hawkeye truck and machine getting his bonus point. As you see Jean-Francois Lavoie back here on the number 397 as he's out there smoking. He'll come down pit road and try and get repairs done to that machine. So there comes Dustin Phillips also. He has led his lap. Now he'll come down pit road. So as we're here pacing under our 2nd caution here of the night, not quite halfway on lap number 90, we're going to step away. We'll be back for more racing action here from the Dover International Raceway, here for the National Speed Association on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And we're back here from Dover. It looks like the lights in the pace car are out, but it looks like Trey Hoover, who's supposed to be our leader when we go back green flag racing. It looks like he's going to elect to take the outside lane here, sticking Jamey Kristensen there on the inside. Could be one heck of a ploy here by the driver of the number 90. We saw him on that last restart kind of have a little bit of issues getting the number 90 up to speed as Jamey Kristensen worked his way around him and took over the lead there for a handful of laps. Now, Trey Hoover going to lead us back to green here on lap 93. He's going to choose the outside lane this time to see if that works out a little bit better for that advanced auto parts machine. Jamey Kristensen going to start there second with Stephen Page in third. Then it's going to be Chris Stump, Pascal Brasuli, and Dustin Ping rounding out your third row. It's going to be Charlie Widener and Dustin Phillips, DeMarco Starks, and David Gervais rounding out the top 10 drivers. As we go back green flag racing, a great start there by your leader. And Jamey Kristensen then going to jump up in front of Stephen Page as he's going to slam the door on Page so he can't get by him. Chris Stump, though, sitting right there, kind of just battling it out with Stephen Page as he'll look to the inside. He'll get it off turn number 2. Stephen Page tried to battle back going down the backstretch, not able to get to the inside there of Chris Stump, though, so he'll have to settle for the 4th spot. There is a battle, but it's back here for their 9th position, your 8th, 9th, and 10th position. Put these 3 under the blanket. DeMarco Starks to the inside on David Gervais. Or not David Gervais, that was Pascal Brasuli. David Gervais, there's going to be that blue truck there. Now DeMarco Starks going to go to the inside here on Dustin Phillips. Dustin Phillips going to try and cross over DeMarco here as they come down the front stretch into turn number 1. This is your battle for 7th. As they're battling for your 7th spot, check out the battle up here. Stephen Page going to look to the inside here on Chris Stump. Page going to try and work to the inside here. Off turn 4-0. Page a little bit sideways, and then even behind them, Dustin Phillips going to go sideways. He's going to make contact with DeMarco Starks. Pascal Brasuli going to get involved. 3 trucks around here on lap 96. Dustin Phillips bringing out the caution with DeMarco Starks and Pascal Brasuli. Pascal has so much damage, he's going to have to elect to take the tow. These other drivers going to see if they can drive their trucks back to the pit road. Let's go back here from overhead and see what happened between these 2 drivers. There you see Dustin Phillips working to the inside on Starks. Big wiggle out of Phillips and then just tries to chase the truck. And unfortunately, there was DeMarco Starks. And there was Pascal Brasuli. Nowhere for driver of the 182 to go. We'll rewind it back even farther here and try and go on board with Pascal. There you saw it. Pascal Brasuli had nowhere, absolutely nowhere to go as he ended up right into the door there of the 27 of DeMarco Starks. Here comes all your leaders marching down pit road once again. Not quite here at the halfway break, but we do got to thank everybody for tuning in here on the Turn 3 Racing Network to watch the National Speed Association presented by Voice Attack. And these boys working their 3rd caution here of the night. Jamey going to lead them down pit road here once again. Looks like Trey Hoover may have won that battle off pit road there over Jamey Kristensen. We're going to have to see how timing and scoring shows it. It is showing that Trey Hoover was your winner off pit road. Then it's going to be Kristensen. Then it's going to be Chris Stump, Stephen Page, Dustin Ping, Charlie Weiner, David Gervais. And it looks like Dustin Phillips going to be able to bring the 33 back out, but I'm not sure that DeMarco Starks or Pascal Brasuli are going to be able to come back out on track. So that would leave us with 8 drivers left here for the last 100 laps of the race. But that man out front, he's got the Toyota. He's got the advanced auto parts on board that machine, and he's been out front now for 17 laps. He'll get credited with 18 when he comes back around here off turn number 4. as the lights on the pace car are still on out there, let's see, maybe we can possibly get a word in with Dustin Phillips. Dustin Phillips, you got a copy. It's Roger up here in the turn 3 booth.
Yeah, bud, we got a copy.
Well, Dustin looks like got a little bit tight coming off turn 4. Tell us what happened inside the truck.
Yeah, just racing hard there with DeMarco, and made a few adjustments there on that last pit stop, trying to make the truck better because we've definitely been off so far. And I think I went the wrong way, and just racing hard. And the trucks are, when you get them as tight as they are here, and they just get a little twitchy, and it just broke loose, and a little trouble getting in there. And DeMarco, hate it messed up. I'm sure it messed up his night. It's definitely going to affect mine. So unfortunate deal. Just have a pretty decent truck, we feel like, if we can just make it to the end. But the problem is a few more adjustments here, and we might be getting to there.
Well, it looks like a little damage on the right-hand side of the number 33 Hawkeye Trucking Silver, or that's a Toyota, is it not?
Yeah, it's definitely Toyota.
That's probably why it's a little bit slower than the rest of the guys out there tonight. But hey, try and keep that 33 out of the fence here tonight, Dustin, and maybe we'll get to talk to you yet at the end. It's a little beat up, though.
Yeah, definitely got some damage on it, but we'll try to do it from here.
Well, that was the driver of the 33 out here tonight. Dustin Phillips had a good run going. Unfortunately, slid out of turn number 4 and into DeMarco Stark, so it's going to end, it looks like, possibly Stark's night along with Pascal Brusuli. So Dustin Phillips just out there trying to race hard and grab all the points he can. Well, Chris, we do see you out there in chat. Thanks for tuning in here tonight. How did your race go down there in Nashville? And Charlie Widener, Chris, if we can get to Charlie, we're talking to Charlie. He hasn't had quite the get up and go that he had from last week at Talladega, but right now he finds himself running in your 6th spot. So it's still going to look like a good points night here for Charlie Widener in the 95. As we're going to see the iRacing pace car come down pit road this time, we're going to get the halfway marker here when we take the green flag. Is Trey Hoover going to fire off the top side? He's going to leave Jamey Kristensen in the dust, battling for the 2nd spot. Jamie's going to be able to hang on to second there because Stephen Page is stuck to the outside. Here comes the number 98 of Chris Stump. Look at him fire off through turn 1. Look at him come off turn 2. He's coming for the voice attack machine. With Chris Stump and that Cialis machine, he's led a handful of laps here tonight, and then he came down pit road, had a speeding penalty. He's had to come through the field here tonight. And back to the top 3, Chris Stump is being shown in 3rd. Charlie Widener going to get passed up as they work through 1 and 2. He's going to slot into your 7th spot. It looks like he's actually a little bit off pace there coming down the backstretch. I didn't see what happened to him, but a little right front damage done to Charlie Widener. Maybe he got into that outside fence. That's an unfortunate for you guys down there from Nashville. Tear the motor down, see what you can think or can find in it, and then, well, turn her back loose and get back out on track. It's exactly what Charlie Widener's doing because he runs 7th. Back out front, though, everybody else kind of right nose to tail as they go down to the corner. Hoover going to leave the inside lane open. Jamey Kristensen going to try and fill it off turn number 2. He's being pushed by Chris Stump in this Cialis machine. And how about Stephen Page just kind of hanging here with the boys tonight? Stephen Page right here. Throw your top 6 cars under the blanket. Out of this top group here, as Dustin Phillips works himself off pit road once again, trying to get more damage fixed there on the 33. But the guy who I'm pretty impressed with, how about that 77 of Dustin Ping? He's been up front, led a lot of laps, had some connection issues with the 77, and then had to take it all the way to the back of the field. He drove it back up through the field, and then, well, he had some more blinking issues, had to drop to the tail once again, and now he finds himself running right there in the 5th spot. We know he has a quick truck. Question is, can he keep the internet connection underneath that Silverado? And can he get around the likes of Page, Hoover, Stump, and Kristensen? Right now, Jamie's out front as they leads him off turn number 4. He'll lead another lap here, so that'll complete 106. That'll give Jamey Kristensen, if I'm not mistaken, that should give him, I believe, 43 laps that number 9 has been out front here tonight. Bristol Motor Speedway, how you say? Well, we've been here with the National Speed Association, and well, you know how that turned out for yourself, huh? Well, we'll always keep working up here in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth, as right now Jamey's still out front. He actually pulled a half second in the last lap and a half over Chris Stump, so right now Jamey has the hot setup on the voice attack machine here just after the halfway point. The sun is back shining here at the Dover International Raceway. Now the track temps back up to 83 degrees. Actually, that's down 1 degree from the last time we checked. It was at 84 degrees. Trey Hoover sitting back here about 0.6 seconds off your leader. That time by, though, look at the run that Chris Stump got off turn number 2. He really closed the gap. Now he's about a car length, 2 car lengths back off the back bumper of Jamey. This concrete mile track can throw numerous loops at you throughout the night. It's nighttime here for all of us East Coasters. It could be daytime wherever you're tuning in from, and it's daytime in the sim here from Dover, as Dover International does not have lights around this concrete mile. Just think if they put lights around the concrete mile, what kind of racing it would provide. And how about maybe the racing that you're seeing right here, as Chris Stump has now caught Jamey Kristensen. So it's a 2-car battle for the lead here between Kristensen and Stump. Can Jamey hang on to the lead over Chris, or is Chris going to bring the Cialis machine back to the point? Trey Hoover still runs in your 3rd spot with Stephen Page right there, Dustin Ping, David Gervais. Then you got that lap car there, the 33 of Dustin Phillips. Page going to leave the door open here for Dustin Ping. Ping can't fill it, as Page going to cross him back over in the front there, and he'll hold on to the 4th spot. So as your leader's going to work around that lap down truck there, the 397 of John Francois Lavoie, as he has shown 21 laps down, but he's back out on track trying to see if he can just turn some laps. He knows if he can turn a handful of laps, he might be able to catch the 27 truck of DeMarco Starks, or maybe he can catch the 182 of Pascal Brasuli, as both those drivers are off track. They're still in the sim. They are just off track right now, sitting in the garage trying to get repairs. Oh, as Stephen Page finds the outside wall off turn number 4. That's going to leave the inside lane open, but the blinking number 77 not able to fill the hole. Number 9 here, voice attack driver Jamey, still hanging on. Still finds himself out front. He's led the most laps here tonight. Question is, can he hang on for the next 80-some laps? 86 laps to go here from Dover. Can Jamey hang on? Can Chris get around him? Can Trey Hoover rebound? How about Stephen Page? Can he bring the number 1 back to the front? Maybe David Gervais, who's had front-end damage to this man of steel 39 all night long since the drop of the green. As it looks like here comes Chris Stump. He's going to look to the inside on Jamey going into turn 1, and he'll move Jamey out of the groove. That'll put Chris Stump to the point. Chris Stump now your leader here on lap 116. Jamey Kristensen going to slot into 2nd, but hey, look at the Hoover machine. It's moving. He's now caught your 2 leaders here, so it's going to be a 3-truck battle here at the front of this one. Stephen Page is a little high off turn 4 into the outside wall again. David Gervais going to move to the inside in the 39. He'll take the evasive actions. He'll actually move around Stephen Page to put David in the 39, now running in your 4th spot. And there is still that beat-up number 33 of Dustin Phillips just kind of hanging on back here. He's shown 4 laps down, but still out there moving around. Dustin Ping down pit road with connection issues. This might be a scheduled stop for Dustin Ping. We're going to have to watch and see if he comes back out onto track, though. Dustin Ping going to lose a lap on him coming down pit road as he hits his pit box now. So Chris Stump still the leader here. Trey Hoover into the outside wall coming off turn number 4. Hoover going to make a little contact, but he keeps it pointed in the right direction. I don't see any damage really done to the right front. Maybe just a slight crinkle. It's not really that aerodynamic of a track, even though they are hitting the speeds around about 165 miles an hour down the straightaways, and then we're all the way down to right around the 140 through the corners here at Dover, but I don't believe that damage done to the right front there on Hoover. Oh, Dustin Phillips into the outside wall. You saw it just in the picture in the back there. Dustin Phillips went back into the outside wall off turn number 4. And then that almost collected the number 1 of Stephen Page. Page, though, going to work around Dustin Phillips. So it's still Stump, Kristensen, Hoover, David Gervais there in 4th, Page in 5th. Charlie Widener still hanging on about 4.3 seconds back behind your leader, running in 6th. Dustin Phillips is back out on track. He is shown 2 laps down, though, to your leaders. But now your leaders have been out there for 23 laps. Dustin Ping, though, 4 fresh tires on the 77 truck. I hear someone spinning. Looks like the number 1 of Stephen Page is spun on track, and the yellow will fly here. Oh, boy, there's smoke bellowing from behind the number 1 machine. Let's see what happened to Stephen Page as we're back here on your replay. Stephen Page was running in your 5th position at the time of his spin. Let's see what happens as he comes off turn 4. It looks like his truck's been getting tight there. Into the outside wall he goes. He smashes the inside wall. He locks her down. Oh, and then Dustin Phillips. Phillips goes for the ride. We didn't see Phillips, and then, Dustin Ping comes in with a smash. Dustin Ping then has smoke bellowing out of the back end of the 77. Let's go back. Let's go on board with Dustin Ping. See it all happening and unfolding in front of Dustin Ping. As the caution flag at that time when Dustin Ping came into turn 1 was not actually out, so Dustin Ping was full bore trying to get all he could get in the 77, and then unfortunately just ended up running right into Stephen, or actually that was Dustin Phillips. We'll get the right names out there sooner or later. But everybody is working down pit road. There you see the number 1 of Stephen Page and Dustin Ping both on pit road there. So 4 fresh tires here with just, I believe, right around 77 laps to go in this one. Looks like Chris Stump's going to win the battle off pit road. Then it's going to be Jamey Kristensen, Trey Hoover, David Gervais, Charlie Widener with 4 fresh tires in your 5th spot. There's your 5 trucks left on side or inside and on track on your top 5. So as they work another caution here from Dover, we're a step away here on lap 124. Chris Stump's out front in this one.
Once again, photo finish here of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerritt at the line.
Welcome back here to Dover International. The lights on the pace car are still on. I believe we're going to get them to see to turn off the lights this time by. They do. The lights on the pace car do turn off, so we'll go back racing on lap 127 5 drivers still left on track. I believe actually Jean-Francois Lavoie is still out here on the 397, just not caught up to the tail of this field yet. It looks like still 11 drivers entered in the lobby. A lot of guys down pit road here trying to get as much damage fixed as they can to their trucks because they know it's coming down to the end of the season and every point is going to matter. But right now it's Chris Stump. He's going to elect to take the outside. Jamey Kristensen going to take the inside with David Gervais in your third spot on the outside. And then Trey Hoover in the number 90 there going to start to the inside of the second row. Charlie Widener in the 95 is out there running fifth. And then there is the 397 of Jean-Francois Lavoie as he joins the back of the field. So with the lights on the pace car off, there you see it make it left-hand turn off the concrete banking. And Chris Stump back to the loud pedal early. He'll take the lead here off turn 4. Or he'll take, or continue to take his lead. As the inside move here by Trey Hoover on Jamey Kristensen. Kristensen didn't see Hoover coming. Then at the last second, Trey Hoover going to stuff the 90 to the inside. He'll take the second position away. So Trey Hoover taking away the second position. Now he's going to fully clear Jamey Kristensen in turns 3 and 4. David Gervais, look at that man come. He was way off the pace on the initial start of this one tonight, and now here on lap 28 finds himself trying to find a top position. I just got word that the 77 of Dustin Ping has retired that machine, so he's going to load up the 77. He'll try again next week from Kansas. David Gervais, he ain't worried about Kansas. He's worried about taking away the second spot here from Trey Hoover. Chris Stump, he sees all the battling in his mirror. He says, boys, have at it. I'm going to try and run away from yous. Cloud cover here from Dover. You see a little bit of sun on the trucks, but nothing on the concrete just right now. Come by the line that time. We're going to get the 71 laps to go here from Dover. And the battle's on. Here comes David Gervais. He's going to look to the inside on Trey Hoover. David Gervais moving to the inside. He's going to take the second spot. Hoover going to lose also that third position to Jamey Kristensen if Jamey can keep the voice attack number 9 down to the bottom and get around him. So there it is. Jamey Kristensen going to take over the third spot. Trey Hoover going to settle for fourth right now. Charlie Widener hanging right there with the boys. Coming closer and closer to the end of this one. And now here comes Charlie Widener, just like good old Charlie. Always finds himself there at the end of things, fighting it out. Chris Stump, though, he's up here in the Cialis machine, trying to stay away from David Gervais. Off turn number 2, David going to throw the 39 to the inside. Can the man of steel come to the point for the first time here from Dover? It looks like he's going to clear him through the center of the corner. Now put David Gervais at the point of this one. David Gervais going to lead his first laps here from Dover, and it's going to be on lap 132. Now we're on 133 here, and the man of steel trying to run away from it. David Gervais has had a lot of good runs here with the National Speed Association, just not able to put that machine in victory lane. David Gervais has had 4 starts here with the National Speed Association. Started all the way back over at Texas where Charlie Widener won. He finished third, had a great run there. Then he backed up his run at Bristol, finished second, and then he had another top 5 from Richmond. Last week, though, from Talladega, not a good run. Oh! A big move back there from Charlie Widener as he tried to get around that lap-down truck there. I believe that was Jean-Francois Lavoie was kind of sitting there in the way, and Charlie Widener really had to take evasive actions. But David Gervais right now holding a 1-second lead. Trying to do better than his best finish. That was over at Bristol Motor Speedway when he placed his second place finish. He's going to try and win this one here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Chris Stump, though, hanging back there. And it's Jamey Kristensen, then Trey Hoover, and Charlie Widener then rounds out your top 5. So 5 guys going to battle it out for one final position here. Well, if you're just tuning us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, it's the National Speed Association here on the Sunday night here from the Concrete Mile here at Dover International Raceway. And that's the man out front, the 39 Man of Steel, David Gervais, trying to place his best finish here. Maybe Chris Stump's trying to save a little. How about Jamey Kristensen? Could he win on another concrete track? Trey Hoover, and then look at that guy. That's right, Mr. Where Did He Come From? Charlie now is sitting here trying to take over the 4th spot from Trey Hoover. Can that Mountaineers 95, though, get around the number 90 of Trey Hoover is the question. Just because you get to him don't mean you can pass him. But my money's going to be on the 95. If he's got any ponies left under that, he'll be able to. Look at him come off the corner. He had a run there, and it looked like he just checked up a little bit. Now he's going to throw it to the outside, see if he can get a great run off the corner here to try and duck to the inside. It doesn't look like Charlie's going to be able to duck anywhere that time. He's going to just have to settle back from riding behind the number 9. Duck, duck, goose, I guess we're trying to play out here. And right now, Charlie Widener's not the duck. He might be the goose. Let's pull up that driver bar here for Charlie. There it is. Started back in the 12th spot. It says the lowest once we went green flag racing was 10th. But obviously, if you started 12th, it was probably the lowest position here tonight. And right now, he's running in his highest spot of 5th. Charlie Widener really still just hanging all over the back bumper here at Trey Hoover. Nobody's been gaining ground anywhere. David Gervais still holds a half-second lead over Chris Stump. And then it's a second and a half to Jamey Kristensen. And then Trey Hoover and Charlie Widener back here battling it out. I believe it's right around the 2-second mark. Well, see, money racing out there. If you want to get involved in the National Speed Association, it's here on a Sunday night right on your Turn 3 Racing Network. Go ahead and talk to that man who's on screen. Hit up Jamey Kristensen, or you can even message us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, and we can definitely get you pointed in the right direction. Jamey, though, led a lot of laps in this one. Right now, though, having to settle for a 3rd place right now, but we still got plenty of laps to go here from Dover. 56 laps still left in this one, and they've been out there for 21 laps on this set of fuel. On this set of tires, the question is, how far can they stretch it? David Gervais going to work around Pascal Brasuli. Oh, boy, Dustin Phillips out there on track. He's going to make contact with your leader. Charlie Widener going to miss the accident, but Dustin Phillips coming back out on track to try and gain a couple positions. He stuffs it into the outside wall. Oh, boy, we're going to have to actually go back and check this one out from a little bit farther back. Dustin Phillips out on track. Heavy damage. No rear end on that number 33. Tell that truck's not exactly handling right. It might be a little skewed in the back of that one. Kind of dog walking, missing half the sail panel on the back side of that truck. You see Dustin tried to keep the truck to the outside, made contact with it. And unfortunately, Chris Stump was there to make contact with him. Let's go on board with Chris Stump and see exactly what he saw out the front of that truck. Absolutely nowhere to go for Chris Stump, as he just came right in there, and there sat the 33. So Chris Stump going to be sitting down in pit road. Unfortunately, it looks like a lot of damage done to that truck. Not sure if the iRacing Live is broke. Not quite sure on that. I'll have to check into that after this one for you, and then I can get back to you guys on that one. As your leaders all come down pit road, maybe we can get a word in with the driver of that Cialis machine. Chris Stumped, you got a copy. It's Roger here in the booth.
Yep, I got a copy.
Well, I know it's not the way you want to talk to me here from Dover. You had such a good run going inside the top 5, but right now it looks like down pit road and out of the truck.
Yep, yeah, we got 32 minutes of damage. It's a tough break, but that's kind of the way it goes here at Dover. There's really nowhere to hide when someone has trouble, but it happens.
Yeah, we went on board with your onboard camera, and it just looked like there was absolutely nothing you were going to do. A couple other drivers actually almost got involved in that one, too. It's just, there's nowhere to run away and hide here at Dover, especially coming off the corners. How was your truck, though, here tonight coming off the corner handling?
I think I fought pretty tight, like everyone else is. Made some minor air pressure adjustments on the left sides, tried to drop them a little bit, and it seemed to help me in the long run. It definitely hurt me on the short runs. It's pretty skittish, a little bit free getting in, but I think it would have been pretty good once we got sorted out on the long run.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen for you here tonight. Right now, slotted in your 5th position, but I believe you might be able to hang on to a top 5 here after it's been a rough night for a lot of these drivers. But Chris, we'll catch you on the next one from Kansas.
All right, thanks, Roger.
Well, that was Chris Stump, unfortunately leading a handful of laps and going to retire his machine as he is now sitting on pit road, and he got 33-some minutes of repairs for that truck, so he'll be there for a while. But how about that man who finds himself out front? David Gervais, what a night he's had. Started towards the rear of the field, was involved in the first crash of the race, and then battled his way all the way back up to the front here, took over the lead from Trey Hoover, and now still hanging on. He came down pit road, made that pit stop under this yellow, and is still hanging on to your lead. Well, unfortunately, it might be something to do with the iRacing.com page. Nothing that we can do here from the Turn 3 Racing Network other than maybe just shoot iRacing a message asking what's going on with the live servers. Maybe they went down for the restream feed from iRacing. But we are glad you did find us here over on YouTube for the Turn 3 Racing Network. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you like what you see out here tonight by the National Speed Association. Go ahead and hit that little subscription bell down there. Get all the notifications when we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You can catch myself, Roger Muth, here on a Sunday night, and you can catch me over on a Monday night here to finish up tomorrow night for the United States Midget Association as they go to Charlotte Motor Speedway, the dirt track there, for their final race of the season. You can catch a handful of us throughout the rest of the week over here on the Turn 3 Network, broadcasting every night. There's something here. I believe Saturday night is our only night off. So we're going to go back green flag racing. David Gervais going to lead the number 9 of Jamey Kristensen back to the green flag with Charlie Widener now sitting in 3rd. How about Trey Hoover in 4th? Looks like Jean-Francois Lavoie is still out there on track circling. Stephen Page brings the number 1 back out onto track to try and gain a couple positions. Chris Stump still in the server, just kind of sitting in his pit stall, wondering what he could have done differently here tonight. But David Gervais fires off, and then the battles for the 2nd spot. Kristensen going to have it. He's going to hang on to it, but now Charlie Widener, look at the quiet man. He's trying to take over that 3rd position. It looked like he had a truck on that last green flag run that might have been better than Trey Hoover. Just wasn't able to work around him. But Charlie right there in the 95 Mountaineers Tundra going to have to settle for 4th right now with just about 49 laps here to go in this one. Stephen Page, you see him there as he's back out on track, 26 laps down. And Jean-Francois Lavoie still out here in the 397, running 6th, 21 laps down. David Gervais, though, still towing the line. ever since David brought the 39 to the front of the field here, he's now led 22 laps here tonight. I don't know what more you can say about the man of the 39 other than he just knows how to wheel it around Dover and keep himself out of trouble. The man who's kept all four corners on the truck, though, the number 9 of Jamey Kristensen, still sitting there lurking in the background, just waiting for David Gervais to make a mistake so he can pounce in that number 9 machine and take over the point. This is the time of day that you want to be good. You see the sun's going down. Track is cooling down. Now it's down to 75 degrees, so the track temp is way down from where we were. It has a lot of grip in the truck now, or in the track now for these trucks. Four cars going to battle it out here. There's Trey Hoover, who's sitting in third, with Charlie Widener still sitting there. Trey Hoover going to try and keep that run of top fives going here tonight as he runs in that third spot. It's exactly what he needs to do. He stayed up front all night long, away from all the action. Looks like David Gervais that time opened up the gap just a little bit. Now it's sitting at about a second gap back to Jamey Kristensen. Just going to try and run away. Three laps to go here from Dover. It looks like we're going to be working up onto the lap car. John Francois once again. Looks like he's going to go 22 laps down here from David Gervais. David Gervais, there you see him go to the inside. He's already opened up about a 1.3 second gap now back to Jamey Kristensen. He is just tearing up the track here tonight. Ever since he found the clean air out front, he's just been able to stick it there. Jamey still hanging on to second with Trey Hoover in tow. Charlie Widener still stalking the back bumper of Trey Hoover. There you see the sun starting to peek back out. Track temp still sitting around the 75-degree mark. We're keeping an eye on that here in the closing laps. It's a three-truck battle for second. Kristensen hanging on to it. Hoover wants it. Jamey going to go way high that time in turn 4. Jamey Kristensen going to lose the second position. He's going to lose third, it looks like, to Charlie Widener as he's following the back footsteps of Hoover. So the 3 Toyota Tundras going to shuffle the running order here. Hoover to second, Widener to third, Kristensen now fourth. And they are all led by the Chevy Silverado by David Gervais. He's the only Silverado still left out there on your lead lap, and he is right now trying to win it for the Bow Tie Nation. Timing and scoring that time by showing David Gervais having a 1.7 lead over Trey Hoover. Ever so slowly, that lead is starting to grow. David Gervais working up onto another lap car. That's going to be the number 1 of Stephen Page, who's shown 26 laps down, running in your 7th spot after getting together with the number 33 of Dustin Phillips. David Gervais going to get to the back bumper. It looks like Stephen Page is going to do the gentleman's agreement. He moves out of the way, so that'll put now Stephen Page now 27 laps down, running in your 7th spot. Nothing's changed back here for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spot. It's still going to be Trey Hoover, Charlie Widener, Jamey Kristensen. Let's take a peek. Where is John Francois Lavoie? He coming out of turn number 4 right now, 22 laps down, running 6th. He spent a lot of time on pit road to try and get some damage fixed on the motor of that number 397. He came back out on track to try and gain some positions. If he stays out there for just about 6 more laps, he should be able to crack the top 5 as Chris Stump has loaded up that Cialis machine. He'll be headed over to Kansas next week. I was talking with Chris Stump, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, possibly, about Dover International. Chris Stump did have a actual tire test in real life a number of years back. We won't tell you exactly how many. We don't want to date the man. But Chris Stump said that he had a tire test here, and he watched an Indy car go around this track. You should have seen the way the Indy cars were just bottoming out, flying around flat to the floor. And he said it was just absolutely crazy watching the speeds that they were out there traveling around it at. And then he went out there, got 20 laps of himself, and then the clouds opened up and it rained. And, well, that was the end of the tire test for Chris Stump. That was his memory from the Monster Mile. And tonight, it's not going to be a memory you want to remember as he's loaded up and headed to Kansas. Right now, though, it could be a memory for David Gervais as he's still out front. Now he's still sitting right around that 2.5 marker. Charlie Widener has third, but that time off turn 4, he took a real big, hard slide, almost put the 95 into the wall. That allowed Trey Hoover to get away and Jamey Kristensen to really close back up on the back bumper of that 95 truck. Guys are going to come by this time by. We're going to get 30 laps to go here. And there's the man of steel himself, David Gervais, 39 in the Silverado. Still leading the way here from Dover. That'll put David Gervais at 40 laps led next time by. Right now he's at the lucky number on the side of that truck. 39 laps have been led by David Gervais. If David could keep it out front the rest of this race, he could actually walk away with the most laps led. As he's going to come up on John Francois once again, so he'll put that driver another lap down. John Francois inside the top 5, though, 23 laps down. Looks like Charlie Widener got away from Jamey Kristensen. He looks a little down off the pace there. Not sure if he got a big wiggle going into turn 3 and had to chase the 9 up the hill. But now it looks like Charlie Widener has about a 1.2 second gap cushion back to Jamey Kristensen as Charlie starts to work his way around that lap down car. Can Charlie Widener close back in on Trey Hoover? We saw that Widener had a good long run truck last time we got right around this 20 lap marker. And he's still hanging right there to the back of that truck, only about 2 car lengths back. Did he save enough tire on the 95 to close this one out? Let's take a peek here at the driver bar here for the number 90 and see where he's been. The lowest Trey Hoover has been all night is just sitting there in 4th. And that was only under a yellow flag pit stop that Trey Hoover had lost the lead and fell out of the top 3. So just a night that Trey Hoover's been doing what he needs, hanging inside the top 5 right now, shown in your 2nd position. Not much action really happening on track. Anybody feeling lucky tonight? Who do you got? Put your money on which driver's going to bring home the checkered here tonight. Maybe David Gervais if he can hang on to this, because now he's up to a 2-second lead. Maybe he can head on right over to the casino that sits out right there. You saw it in the a little bit of the screen back there behind turn number 2. Maybe he'll hit the casino if he can win it big here from Dover. Your closest 2 trucks are these 2 trucks on track, and right now that's about, say a semi-gap distance between the 2. That's the 90 of Trey Hoover and Charlie Widener now starting to fall off here with just about 20 to go. This time by, we're going to see the 20 to go marker from the flagman. Pascal Brasuli coming back out on track after being numerous laps down. It looks like he's spent, 84 laps sitting down there on pit road, and now he's back out on a mangled up 182 machine. But he's going to try and finish this one out here, and if he stays out there, 1 lap is exactly what he needed. He passes DeMarco Stark, so he'll move from the 8th position to the 7th position. That's exactly what he did, because DeMarco Stark's still sitting on pit road. He won't be able to gain any more positions from there. At this point, he just has to hope that nothing happens to that truck till the end of it, and boy, does it look like it's a beat-up 182. If you find a straight sheet metal on that truck, actually, there might be that right-hand rear quarter panel on this 182 of Pascal might actually still be pretty straight. Looks like there's still actually some speed left in that 182 also. Here's another mangled up truck. See if you can find a straight quarter panel on this one. Stephen Page not having the day he wanted. He had a good run going. Unfortunately got caught up with Dustin Phillips in the number 33 and sent both those drivers to the inside wall. Something is not really to the liking of Jamey Kristensen. He had a truck that was clean all night long, and there you saw it as he came off turn 4, just got into the outside wall just a little bit. He's now fallen way off the pace. Something's wrong. There you see him almost down to the inside fence. The tires going the way that bad for Jamey Kristensen as he's well off the pace. Charlie Widener still hanging on to 3rd. He's really let Trey Hoover really start to get away from him here with under 20 to go. Trey Hoover sitting about a 1.5 back from David Gervais. David Gervais just doing everything he needs to do with 14 laps to go here from Dover International. David Gervais leading the way. David Gervais now has the most laps led here for this event. And I believe at this point, he will come by this time by, and he will lock up the most laps led here from Dover. Now the question is, can he just park the 39 truck in victory lane? There's a lap down car out in front of him. That's going to be the number 1 of Stephen Page, who runs in 6th, 27 laps down, so he's not in contention at this point. Do any harm to David Gervais? David Gervais really starting to close in on Stephen Page here. Page going to throw her to the inside. He'll get out of the way of your leader. So David Gervais going to put Stephen Page now 29 laps down. David Gervais is going to come by this time by to get the 10 to go marker for Dover. Laps are really starting to wind down. As we zoom out just a little bit, you see there's nobody really. There is the 90 finally showing up on screen. Closed in just a tick, but still sitting right there at the 2.5 marker back. David Gervais just putting on a clinic at this point, because the guy who's behind him, that man right there, you saw the gap distance, right? Still sitting at about 1.4 back to Trey Hoover. Then you got to go all the way back here, about 5.5 seconds back from your leader. Find Charlie Widener, who's still having a good night out there after not having the truck he wanted in the early going. Charlie rebounded here, right now sitting inside the top 3. Jamey Kristensen hanging on right now for dear life, running in the 4th spot. That's Pascal Brasuli right there in the number 182, as he has shown 84 laps down, running in your 7th spot. What more can you say about David Gervais? He's had a 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th place finish. Can he notch one better than his best from Bristol? The gap is starting to shrink. Trey Hoover is starting to come on the move. Now it's down to a 2nd gap between your 2 leaders. Has Trey Hoover been playing possum, running in the back here? Right, hovering around the 1.5 second marker. Now has it down to a 2nd. 6 laps to go here from Dover. Can Trey Hoover catch David Gervais? What's left in the tank for the 90? Has he saved the tires? Has David Gervais ran the tires out? Trey Hoover, the man on the mission. This time by, we're going to see 5 laps to go. We're inside that magic window of no return. 5 laps to race it out. Trey Hoover just trying to run down the man. There's the gap. That time by, David Gervais gaining a little bit. It's back up to a 0.6 second gap. They're going to get 4 to go. Laps are really winding down now. That time by, Trey Hoover back to an even half second. Now it's 0.3 tenths of a second to your leader. Trey Hoover giving everything she's got. 3 laps to go, and now Hoover's about 2 truck lengths back. With 3 laps to go, going down into turn 1 and 2. Now it's about, if you looked at it, it's going to be a 1 truck gap. Trey Hoover has ran down your leader of David Gervais. David Gervais going to make the 39 Man of Steel Silverado as big as he can. Trey Hoover going to try and set him up off the corner. Hoover going to dive to the inside here. Oh, boy, your leaders make contact. Trey Hoover, David Gervais make contact. Yellow flag is flying. It looks like the motor on the number 90 is off. Trey Hoover is dead in the, or not dead in the water, but David Gervais is dead in the water, it looks, in the 39 truck. Oh boy, 2 leaders getting together. Oh boy, is all I can say at this point. Let's go from following it here with our little drone camera. There you saw, it looks like David Gervais just tried to come down maybe just a little bit. Let's go back, let's go on board here with the number 90 of Trey Hoover. Not exactly how Trey Hoover thought that was gonna do it. Didn't think that's how things were really gonna end up, but Trey Hoover right now taking the white flag here. He's shown as your leader. Boy, how the tides can turn. Checkered flag in the air. Trey Hoover gonna come across the line smoking to win this one. And then it's going to be Charlie Widener. Jamey Kristensen going to hang on for a 3rd place finish. David Gervais right now shown in pit road like he should be your 4th place finisher. Then it's going to be Jean-Francois Lavoie. Stephen Page in 6th. DeMarco Starks in 8th. Chris Stump 9th. Pascal Brasuli in 10th. Dustin Phillips 11th. Dustin Ping 11th. And Jean-Francois Poulet going to be 12th place finish tonight. So we're going to have to see how that shakes it up. We're going to be right back with you for your post-race interviews here from the Dover International Raceway with your National Speed Association, presented by Voice Attack. Welcome back to the Dover International Speedway. 200 laps in the books here tonight for the National Speed Association. Timing and scoring scrolling across the top of our screen with your finishing order here from Dover. And I also got a couple of the guys up here in the booth with me. First off, we got the number 9, Jamey Kristensen. Jamey, tell us about tonight's race. It seemed like it was an up and down night for you.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was going well in 3/4 of the race, and I didn't tweak on my truck at all. And the very end, it was kind of like, I don't know what happened there, because I just fell off something terrible trying to catch David. David was off like a rocket, and I couldn't stay behind him. I kept running hot, and so I had to back out of it just to get it not to blow up. And that's kind of was my whole evening towards the end there. So, but yeah, I mean, overall I'll take a third, but I guess take what you can get and move on to the next one.
Yeah, third place finish, though. I mean, it's really a good finish for you when you think about it, when you come into tonight, when you think about a points championship. It's going to move you a little bit closer. It's what you need. Concrete tracks seem to be your forte, it seems, of late.
Yeah, I did some road to pro, so I think working on the NIS set during the week and then coming here, it's been really helping out, and hoping a lot of guys have been able to do it. In fact, I ran with Pascal in the road to pro, so I know guys are taking advantage of it. So,
But yeah, third place finish here for you, Jamey. Who helps you out on the number 9 truck?
just all the guys at JCR and Voice Attack. Obviously, they're been a great supporter of ours for a long time now. So just want to give a big shout out to Voice Tech, and if you're looking for voice recognition software, they're the ones to go to. So check them out, and also, you, Roger, in the booth, always appreciate you up there doing what you do. So.
And there you heard it from your third place finisher, Jamey Kristensen. Going to have a great finish here tonight in that Voice Attack Tundra. Third place for him. I also caught up with the man, the quiet guy who just always seems to find a way towards the front of the field when it matters. Charlie Widener, a second place finish here to back up your win from Talladega.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I wasn't sure I was going to get that kind of a finish here.
Yeah, it seemed like towards the beginning of this race, you really kind of struggled with that truck, and then towards the end of this one, it really came on there for a number of laps. It seemed like you were just really following the footsteps of Trey Hoover. Did following him around really show you the quick lane, I guess?
No, just what it was. I was way too tight that first run. I was trash back there, so I just kept making adjustments to it each caution. But I didn't want to make huge swings at it, so I just had to do a little at a time. And when I was riding behind Trey all those times, I just wasn't comfortable with attempting a pass because the car was a little unstable, mainly on the exit of the corner. So I just rode behind him for a while, and I was just happy I was able to keep up. And I knew I'd get a good finish if I just didn't turn it around. Almost did one time. I was loose all the way down the front stretch, I think, and I finally caught it. So.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing you caught it because it allowed you to come home second. After a win last week at Talladega, were you ready to come to Dover? I mean, it's quite a bit difference of a track.
I mean, me and Dover have a love-hate relationship. It's a good track. you can race side by side if you have the setup under you and the car under you. But yeah, I mean, I knew I'd be a factor at Talladega, but Dover was going to be just if I was going to be able to make those adjustments during the race, and I was without my Garrett boy, so it was all up to me, and I was doing the right stuff and got up there at the front.
Yeah, I was going to say the Garrett brothers not being here in attendance for the race, but Chris Garrett out there cheering you on tonight here from Dover. But Charlie, before we let you go, we're going to have to ask you who helps you out on the number 2 truck.
All my guys at Highline Racing, the Garrett brothers, even though they wasn't here, they helped me. I mean, we was texting and trying to figure out what I needed to do before the race, and then I'm just glad that we have such a good league that we have here, and thank you for broadcasting for us, and I thank Jamey for keeping this thing running, and Voice Attack for sponsoring us. That's on to the next one.
On to the next one, Charlie Widener says as he brings home the 95. Mountaineers truck in your second finishing position, but now the man that everybody's been out there waiting for, they've been hanging around the track here tonight to hear from this man, Trey Hoover. How did you do it here tonight? It seemed like you had the fast truck on the end, at the end of the race here, but it looks a little beat up.
Yeah, it's just a little beat up. I just saved better. I knew there's no way, unless he was sandbagging the entire race, that he was running those fast laps without burning the right front off. So I was just waiting, and I trimmed it down. It was around 2 seconds. I got it down to like 1.5, and a lapper threw me off going into 1. About wrecked him. Changed lanes. So that was kind of weird. Then I put it back up to about 2 seconds, and then had to chip away. I thought once it got back up to 2, I was done, but his stuff really fell off at the end.
Yeah, with the fall off, it looked like you really had the strong chuck. Do you just chalk that up to hard racing at the end of a race, trying to go for the win?
Yeah, just misjudged the right front. I looked at the replay. I thought he came down, but I don't think he moved. So I definitely didn't mean to tap him. Sorry to David. I didn't obviously need to do that to pass him. I caught him from 2 seconds back with like 8 laps to go. So it wasn't anything that was necessary. Just misjudged and a little bit of net code, it looked like.
Yeah, so the string of top 5 finishes is going to continue here for yourself. How about next week? We're going to head over to the Kansas Speedway with only 3 races to go. How do you feel about heading over to Kansas from this 1 mile concrete track?
I love Kansas, so we'll see. Hopefully it's a day race and we'll be able to run the top. I don't like it when it's nighttime and you can run the bottom there, so hopefully it'll be a race where you can run up on top the whole time, and nice and hot.
Well, nice hot track you're looking forward to next week, but this week was Dover, and who'd helped you out on the number 90 Advanced Auto Parts machine? Oh,
well, VRS finally gave me a setup that wasn't absolutely terrible, so thanks to them for providing a somewhat decent service. Everybody at JCR, it's fun racing with those guys. Jamey, Chris. I think Chris was honestly the fastest truck here, so sad to see him go. I think if he hadn't gotten caught up in that wreck earlier, I think there would have been a 3-way battle for the lead, if not Chris winning. So, yeah, all those boys over there, you for doing the broadcast here, Jamey for putting the league on. It's a lot of fun, and go do it again next week.
That's right. You're going to do it again next week. Next week, though, for Trey, he's going to try and take on the Kansas Speedway. Kansas Turn 3. What happened to Turn 3 there? Well, you're going to have to tune in next week to see at Kansas what happens to Turn 3. But for all of us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, Trey Hoover going to win this one here from Dover. Charlie Widener second. Jamey Kristensen rounds out your top 3. David Gervais going to have to settle for 4th. And Jean-Francois Lavoie rounds out your top 5 here from Dover. Once again, for everybody here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, the National Speed Association, and Voice Attack tuning off for this week. Catch us again next Sunday night from Kansas Speedway for the National Speed Association.